What's up? What's up? There's one viewer right now. Sorry, I swear I was gonna do a poll and ask you guys. We did it last week because there's Monday Night Football at 7 o'clock, which is right when we start. And my main focus is participation, not just sit here and talk to myself. So I thought we'd do it an hour soon. It worked out well last time. Again, I meant to do a vote. I didn't. Sorry, my fault. But during this time, I'm not gonna let the ticker call. It's not gonna change. I'm just going to go over futures, answers questions to those who are here, and then we'll just do call out as it happens. Let's rock and roll. Let's go. All right, we're going. We're good. I got 2 likes with 1 viewer, so to the person that jumped on, hit that thumbs up and rolled out. I appreciate you. As far as the dollar goes, it's down. It's in a zone. I do think we are breaking that. Let me get into my Forex account. I know I'm long the British pound US dollar. Just kidding, that tagged out. I moved my stop 30 pips away, which looks like it did hit during that. Man, that tiny little push up. Do I want to jump back in or what? I kind of think the dollar is about to roll over. Gosh. Enough to at least buy this. Let me check this out real quick. This was a call out yesterday and you guys were short looking to add on. And it popped up overnight. It was like, again, I was up over 100 pips just on that play. This little base out right here. What's up, Matt? What's up, Jeff? Tonight's YouTube video, by the way, gonna erase half of LPP's advice. You can't go broke locking in profits. If you've ever heard or said that, it is mandatory that you watch tonight's video. If you've been following me for a while, you'll just enjoy it. If for some reason you still believe that, let's have that debate after you watch the video. Alright. I do got to go long. Where do I want to put my stop on this thing, though? I'm not usually on this time frame. I'm going to put it right below the 4 hours. I don't want that changing. So let me go long real quick since I just tagged out. Waiting for the Book of Dawn. Man, after reading some of these books, I've only read a few so far this last week. And it is hard to read, because I'm stupid and I can't put words together. Just kidding. It's hard because these guys, it's like reading a YouTube video. Like they're just pumping out extra words to make pages in the book. I'm like, could you just shut up and get to a point? Because you're just blabbling right now. Like, it's one thing for me to listen to you say it because I don't care. I can tune it out. I'll laugh with you, joke. We're just having a conversation. But to be reading that, like, oh, man. Let's go. Get a move on. Anyway. If I wrote a book, it'd just be bullet points the whole time. Do this. Don't do that. Don't question me. Just listen. I'm definitely not an author, though. All right, so as far as the dollar goes, it's in a zone. Traditionally, not a profitable trade if you go ahead and just start shorting that as it comes into a zone. That's so true. Three quarters of the books is their life story, and 1/10 is the actual goods. See, I'm not a big book reader. I read to learn things, not to read stories. And man, like you guys remember C++? Like I've read those books. Not a whole lot of story time in there. There is one book I'm going to recommend. I think it's 90-Day Millionaire. 90-Minute Millionaire. It's 90 in there. I've mentioned this before. I should just go get the book and bring it down. But anyway, left pages are facts. Right pages, story time. If I ever get that backwards, it's one or the other. But seriously, like, so it's a business book. Anyway, the story, lady's husband dies. He had all the money. He was the breadwinner. And the dad's parents want to take the mom's kids. They say that they'll have a better life with us. So they're trying to take the mom's kids. The judge says you have 90 days to get $1 million, or 30 days to get $1 million. And so she does. Spoiler alert. But left side, it's like, hey, take cash, a certain amount of cash, stuff it in a mattress. This time later, you'll have this much. Put it into bonds, you'll have this much. Put it into stocks, you'll have this much. Bunch of comparisons, bunch of financial stuff on the left. If every book could just come out like that, every book would be amazing. Get to the facts, get to the story. Like I've talked to people that have read that book. Some just went through the whole story first, then facts. I just did both. It was kind of like just a good happy medium. Here's the straight facts, back to story time, straight facts. Let's get to some small talk. Not that I've read a ton of books. One of the best books I've read, though. Anyway, I do think the dollar is going to pull back. If I'm wrong, it's because that zone held. You know, never seen that? Just wait. It's a cream-colored book with purple writing. I'll get it down here real quick. Hang on. Because that book I can recommend to everybody. The Millionaire 90-Day Planner. I don't think it's a planner. Millionaire 90-Day. I'm interested now. I'm intrigued. I like making $1 million in 90 days. I'm sure I just text my wife. She'll bring it down. Gosh, yeah, the dollar's just been on such a... Not that the trend is changing. I think we see something more like this, where it just pulls back a little bit. Or maybe not. You guys know the risks. This currency is going to be... This is actually one of the harder trades as far as making that decision. Do I trust this zone, or do I trust like the sentiment? Maybe we pull back a little bit. I think they dialed it back just to... Because there's no way we're going to rally with the dollar pushing like this. So tinfoil hat leading more this trade than the charts. If my wife doesn't, I'll go get it and come back before we end the stream. Don't let me forget. All right, so I am still long the Russell and ES right now, so they can just keep on keeping on. As far as I'm concerned, they're doing good right now. Getting above that, it's going to be Friday's lows, Friday's highs. Yeah, Friday's highs. Did you guys see the YouTube comment I was talking about this morning? I haven't heard back from him. The guy that said fail. This guy right here. Hopefully he, do you think he whole accounted short, or how did this, his name's Boo Boo. So let's do a wellness check on Boo Boo, make sure he's okay. Wrong, fail. Because Thursday I said, hey, that was like a sign for from the Bears to get out. Warning shot. That was a fail. Now I gave him my best financial advice. If you didn't agree with that, I would whole account short over the weekend. And that's how that panned out. So hopefully he's okay. Anyway, I bring all that up mockingly. That's a word, right? Because something that's going to be pretty, I don't want to say confusing, but can be. Because I'm going to start talking about, as we have these bear market rallies, that I don't think it's the bottom, but I think we're going to rally. Like, I'm long one day, I'm short the next. It is going to be very important that you guys understand context in which I'm saying things. Because the 4-hour time frame and the 15-minute are two very different time frames right now. You know, there's the small, medium, and large time frames. Hang on. There we go. So that being said, so context-wise, whether you guys didn't get the memo or not, when I said that was a warning shot to the Bears, still stand by that. It's still panning out. Like, it had 1 day of selling off, which we're talking about a pullback after a move like that. Typically, as far as pullbacks go, that did go a little bit deeper. But that's just fine. The trend is still there. You know, I still think, now I said we'll figure this answer out as time goes on. But the suggestion was, did someone big just buy, or did someone really short just get out? Either way, it's buy-side activity. I think shorts just got out. They're not looking to jack around with earnings for whatever reason. Maybe they think it's the bottom. Who knows? Who cares? But that being said, looks like that's continuing. Banks did have a good day, so it's like Bank of America already outside the expected move. I did not short this, nor did I know it. Last time I checked, it wasn't this high yet. But that's actually going to be on the radar for tomorrow. Maybe it's turnaround Tuesday. It's 1 minute millionaire? I got that way off. Hopefully that's it. Hang on real quick. That's the book, yeah. Thank you. So it's not 90 days or 30 days. 1 minute millionaire. The Enlightened Way to Health. Mark Victor Hansen. Can I put that there? Get this book and read it. There we go. So let me just... where's the... Which one's story time? The 17 ahas, you already know the answer. So, okay, so purple is story time. White is just business talk. Anyway, I am looking to... Where did that just go? Here we go. XLF. Okay, so financials did okay. Who was talking about... I know we talked about this being... I talked about being long financials because coming into this zone. It was Pru. That's what it was. I do need to move this up. 95.46 is my entry. Because we talked about going long yesterday, because when I looked at financials, that's what it was. And then Syra even hopped in the chat. She shorted at the open. She talked about going long. I don't know if she got in long. But anyway, that is my trade on that. So hopefully we rock and roll there. Yes, time to become a millionaire in 1 minute. Boo boo. Look how short. He is currently starting a new account. I'm just catching up on the chat. It's funny. What's my entries on the queues? It wasn't until later this morning. Account stuff ticked me off. Only watched the queues today. I'm not in the queues. I'm in ES. And I got in them the same time. I saw you missed that. That sucks. Let's really talk about Tesla's earnings and thoughts. We're going to get there for sure. Anyway, let's get these futures done real quick so when ticker call out happens, we can have those conversations. All right, as far as Russell goes, still long, still rolling. I don't know if I want to even move my stop up or not on this one. Because we talked about in the morning, so this is when I had already bought up here. We were coming into this, I even talked about, hey, shorts are coming up. Yeah, it was right as we were getting in here. If you're looking out for short, watch out. This broke up right here right before market open. Yeah, right before I was streaming. And then just continued. So I trailed it here, watched it break above that. My stop is still below this blue zone. I haven't managed it. Is it time to move up? Give me 1 second. Now I'm going to move it up. I just don't feel like jacking around with it overnight. What have been the hourly? Gosh. Yeah, I'm going to give it... These numbers are a little bit off, so I'm going to give you the actual number. The one thing I don't like about online trading on TradeStation is this. Like, if I don't know why. I even click remember this computer for 30 days, and it's still telling me, like, it's texting me I got to enter my code to log in. Never have to do that on mobile. Um, 3640.5 is my entry on ES, and I'm actually going to move that 3697. Okay, that's done. And then let me grab 2K. Give me 1 second. All right, 1712 on the dot is my entry there. Man, that sucks. I feel like I could pull it down to 1745, which if we is right, this is 1745. This right here, ignoring these numbers. Again, this is the free data. I just don't know if I want it. I'm gonna put it at 1745. Here's a link to the book Don recommended. Amazon. You get a little affiliate off that? I haven't done Amazon stuff before, but I do appreciate you posting that link. On the PRU trade, explain a bit more why you changed the top to 93. What did we put it at last time? I heard we talked about last night. When I moved this, just looking at this base right here, it'd be 94. Did I have it at 93.85? Yeah, it's just below this, and I just dropped it down to the 45-cent mark. If I said 85 cents, my main point tomorrow was to be, or last night was to be below this base going long. Jeff just ordered the book. Nice. If you guys have any other books, I'll try to read them. I just grabbed a handful of them at the bookstore. I have a small little shelf. You can't even see my hands. About that big next to my headrest. I just filled it, and I'm just going to read them as I go. I think it was Einstein. If you study something for 15 minutes a day, in a year you'll be a genius in that category. Like, I have faith that I will learn something out of these books if I read for 15 minutes a day for the next year. Please. I don't say that sarcastically. I really do hope to learn something, but it's not looking good so far. All right, the NASDAQ I'm not in. I guess watch out for this resistance. A little boo-boo might say otherwise. Fail. That probably, all that is a resistance. Getting above that could be cool, but getting above that during after-hours trading, probably nothing. Nothing to worry about. Neither big nor small with 5 people trading this right now. Let's see if we keep the grind up. I would worry about tomorrow being a gap and crap. So let's keep an eye out for that. Let's say we gap up tomorrow. It's going to look like this, where Thursday was up, Friday was down, Monday's up, gap and crap. We sell back off. Not looking to short, probably just looking to manage green trades. If I do short anything, it'll probably be future or something intraday. Nothing I'm going to grab. No tickers I'm aware of. Bank of America might be on the radar. As it stands right now, that's the only one I'm interested in. Probably just selling. Calls on. The one thing I haven't done since surgery is a burp. Like, my stomach, sometimes I feel like it needs to, but it's so closed up now that it's not happening. But it hurts. I just stole the book. All right, let's get on with the S&P rocking and rolling. Did just move my stop up on that. Again, same resistance story here, but watch out for that zone tomorrow. So I would really worry about. Hits that zone. Here's your low. Here's your high. Here's your higher low, higher highs. The trend up remains intact, and then we'll see what kind of earnings excuse we get to launch that thing even higher. Starting to look like a little curvy. Right now, we are still best case scenario going sideways, so it does still make sense for the horizontal play. I think we're going to curve this thing and leg up. That's all. Do we go outside? Oh, at the expected move on SPY. Oh, we're there on Qs. Interesting. So, if we do gap up tomorrow, that might be the day. Where's Thomas at? You gonna sell some options in here? Let me tell you guys about my little oil transaction. So I'm doing futures on options. Options on futures. I've been doing it for a few months now, ever since Thomas posted his little trade in there. I don't know why I said his little trade. So been looking into it. I just don't talk about it until I'm familiar. So oil is my first trade with this. And I wasn't aware, like this is why I like to trade and get a few under my belt before I talk about it. A couple mistakes. I went with week 3 instead of week 2. So now on ES, not MES, but ES, there's expirations every day, Monday through Friday. Everything else basically has the weeklies like you would be familiar with in options. But in futures contracts, because they expire as well, so it's here's the futures contract, here's expiration for this month, week 1, 2, 3, 4. Week 2 was not selling for crap. I was like, man, 10 cents, like whatever it was, 5 cents, that's nothing. I was doing like the normal out of the money stuff. It wasn't anything, but I wasn't taking into the fact that it's leverage on leverage. So 5 cents to you guys in the options world is $5. In the options futures world, that's 50 because it's multiplied twice. So I got a $1 spread. I sold the 83s and bought the 82s. $1 spread. Again, total risk in a traditional realm is $1,000. It is a 1,000 barrels in the futures contract. But it locks up $600 because there's two types of margin. Now options will lock up the full amount, the full spread. If it's $1 wide, it's gonna lock up that $100. In the futures realm, it takes into consideration the percentage of the trade. So, and there's a name for it for the type of margin you're using, but it doesn't lock up the full margin. It locks up what it thinks it might need, what it might think the worst case scenario is. So instead of it locking up $1,000, it only locked up $600, and the 13 cents I collected, the 0.13 was $130. Anyway, instead of week 2, I did week 3, which is this week. It's a little extra time than I thought. I would have been just fine. Gave it the extra week, but I sold the 83. So this week I need oil to chill the F out. I need to stay above that zone. I still sold below this zone for that very reason. Like you see me talk to Jake when he's selling his options is put it on the other side of that zone. Give yourself a decent wall that they have to chip their way through. We could dance around inside here. I just need to eat up some buyers and sellers in here, then worry about it. If this does break down, this is information like not out there. Institutional wise, there's a lot of buyers at 80. Even my wife's company is buying like I don't know how many millions of barrels at 80. There's a lot of buyers at 80. So now they'll rock it. They'll go down. Like they're still not prone. They're gonna buy it just for their inventory. But just me thinking like that's a lot of buyers. Maybe I sell some just south of that today. You sold a call spread today? Nice. Maybe I'll sell one tomorrow morning on ES. I just noticed we're live. Yes. What's up, Tim? Monday, just Monday during football season, is going to be at the hour early so we can get rocking and rolling. So ticker call out should be opening now for you guys. We'll just do it live. I don't want to change the time on the bot or anything like that. So just during this time, we'll just rock and roll and do it live. The good old days. Let's talk about Tesla. Tesla rocking and rolling today. Again, I do think they beat earnings, but at this point, we keep this up, it's going to be a buy the rumor, sell the news event, which kind of leads me more into why I'm probably going to sell some calls on this. If it's not turnaround Tuesday, tomorrow for Tesla, and they bring that thing down, and we're green tomorrow, I'm going to sell some call spreads for this Friday. I kind of think tomorrow Tesla will be down. It's quite a decent run for Tesla today. So let's see. I don't know if there's any news or anything like that. I didn't do anything. You sold the 37.40, so 374.50s. And if that confuses you guys, I'm going to say it in SPY numbers because it just drops the decimal. It's easier to say. Resistance at 30, so 373. No news on Tesla? Okay. It's not that important. Just had a green day. Someone asked today, like, hey, is the S&P pushing up solely just off Tesla? I mean, look at this watch list, though. Like, Meta's up, Amazon's up, Google was up 4% at the time. Like, they're banging. It wasn't just Tesla carrying the way today. Just a very much a lack of sellers at this point. Hopefully some tryhards got some work in. They bought the dip a little bit. But I would be on the lookout for a gap and crap tomorrow with Tesla. If we jump up, hit this, or if we even gap up, push up, watch out for that. That 230 zone, I wouldn't mind shorting it all, to be honest. Tesla Q, that's where I'd be looking to grab that. All right, let's... Oh, and I'm doing another contest, by the way, so I need your help. Not really a contest, more just motivation. So I'm doing it with Own the Chaos. The YouTube Shorts. The only time I ever made TikTok videos was I was in that contest. We got to post one video a day for 30 days. It was a challenge or something. Anyway, I won because I did it for 30 days. Started fresh. Still got more subs combined than the other two people I went up with. Started fresh, made it happen. Because that's how we win. Anyway, so you're going to start seeing some YouTube Shorts is not a short position. It's what they call their competition for TikTok. Little 15-second, 60-second videos. So if you have any ideas, let me know, because I do struggle with this. As far as like what, I don't like forcing content. So questions I can give a quick answer to or anything like that, toss them in the chat, because I'm going to do one every day. Managing my short was a good call this AM. It for sure was. When is like, I love to just rain on your parade too. Like, good, congrats. But when is managing never a good call? I 100% know what you mean. But of course, especially in this market, I wouldn't get cocky about anything. Even sometimes when I talk arrogant, there's a reason I have a stop, and it's not because I'm just just bored. You know, never. If it pulls back tomorrow, you'll unload. You sold the SPY 1014s? Cool. 15 of you guys here. Let me say it again real quick. Just on Monday, we're going to do it an hour early, so 7 o'clock football comes out. Plus, at 7 o'clock, I got a video coming out. It's already primed. It's going to be premiere, so I'll be live in the chat. If you've heard this or said this, it is mandatory for you to watch. Okay? Unless you already know everything I'm about to say in this video. It's just entertainment at that point. But if you've ever thought, I better lock this in because you can't go broke locking in profits, let me tell you one more time that your brain's on backwards. And I do explain it in there. What I think is not my normal cocky attitude. I do read pages out of a book. How I Made $2 Million in the Stock Market. Nicholas Darvis. One big reason I make as many YouTube videos as I do is because of this guy. Because there is such thing as imposter syndrome. And I really thought it was on a lucky streak. Like, no way I'd want to be teaching or talking about stocks if I really am just lucky. It's also why I started taking everyone else's courses. I thought, what do I don't know? I found out I knew more than them. Not to be arrogant, but that's why I say I skipped the stupid phase. I don't have to worry about indicators. But anyway, he's from the 1950s. And he falls into every trap I see everyone else do. And if you're in I haven't read the book yet, but if you go to a bookstore and you see that book, just read the first few pages in chapter 2. I guarantee it's going to sound like you. That's how generic he was. Like, and I've seen this story a million times again, that when I read that part, I couldn't wait to just make a YouTube video about it, because it's hilarious how it sounds like. A couple books I picked up from Amazon several months ago. Bear Market Investing Strategies, The Options Wheel Strategy, Covered Calls. What do you think of them? I'll give them a fair chance. If you tell me to read them, I will. I'm not the biggest fan of reading, just talking. But if you think they got some good facts, I get asked that a lot. Like, what books do you recommend? And I can't recommend any if I've never read them. So, very good books for you. Perfect. Okay, I'll check them out. Tesla earnings and how they will miss. At this point, Tesla when to re-enter a short. So ticker call-outs open. The first two are Tesla earnings. You guys getting your fix on? If you're going to be playing Tesla earnings, are you flickering the lights, just yelling big money, big money, big money? It's a 50-50. When to re-enter short, though. Man, it had a good run today. And I would, if I enter short tomorrow, it's probably going to get closed tomorrow. That's a day trade for sure. Because if it's a gap and crap tomorrow and that pans out and I make money, I'm not going to swing it overnight to catch that gap up in the morning. Maybe it sells off into earnings and then people want to buy. But I'm thinking, no whammies, no whammies. Getting outside the expected move, 230, I'm probably coming in hot. That would be quite the move to gap and push up into that. But once we get outside the expected move, I'm going to take the rein it back in play. If it's earnings day, what I want to do is wait for a pop and then short, because I do think they're going to beat earnings. I don't think grand slam, but they've increased the price on things, and I think some of those vehicles got delivered, and it's going to show on this earnings. So we're going to show a revenue beat. China wasn't jacking around; they got back to work, and that's all they did was work. So I think that's what's going to be the numbers boost. However, I just don't think it sticks. So I'm looking to catch that. Now, what I'm going to do is if it pops up, short it and instantly be worried about management. In case it pops up. And if I catch that pop and I go short and it pulls back, I might even just lock it in right there. Because what if there's always a chance that it does that continuation the next day. So that's kind of what I'm fearful of. You guys know, like, you got to let the dust settle. And if you're going to jump in and play with fire before then, you got to just know the risk going in. All right. Tesla earnings and how they will miss. I don't know. If they miss, it's just going south. I don't know. How would I? I don't know if there's a trade. Because I'm thinking I'm going to enter this thing bearish if it pops. If that thing sells off at earnings, I don't know if I'm buying the dip, and I would kind of want to wait for the dust to settle, then possibly just enter short. Because if this thing, we got the drop, if it just bases out and then we just sell off, breaking that zone would be a short entry, I think. What podcast do you listen to? None. At all. As much as I don't watch YouTubers, because I just listen to them while I'm driving, I still like to look if I'm at a red light or something, and look and see what they're doing. So podcasts, there's not that visual part. And I used to do Joe Rogan. He wasn't bad if I recognized who he was talking to. But once he switched, I know he's got still videos on is it Spotify? I watched part of the Zuckerberg one. I gotta finish that. Well, we are here for another 21 minutes. Here's Jake's about to say Google. There it is. I caught him typing, so we know it's Google. Funny's not in the chat. I'm gonna let him know we're live now. All right, and then we saw. You got a lot of interesting stuff. Oh, Joe Rogan. All right, Mr. McGinnis, dividend ticker, coming in hot. Or British pound, US dollar. Trying to guess it before it comes out. Let's go over to Google real quick. Those little leaps got some life today. They popped up. They want to remind everybody we're not dead yet. We're gonna die soon, but we're not dead yet. Jake's now $1 in the money. Hang on, let me get the chat back up. All right, let's see what we got. Let's see what Jake's play was today. All right, so we've sold the 92 put. That's just fine. I'd close those. You sold them for 60 and they're at $15 right now. Lock that crap in. Why even worry about the extra $15? Well, if tomorrow, because I think tomorrow might be a gap in crap. After today's push, a pullback totally warranted. So if we, that was Friday? Okay. I would manage those. From 60 to 15, you're already, no, the 92s that you sold, Buy them back. Call it a day. Oh, we're talking about sell the 94s. Yeah, so if it gaps up tomorrow morning, I'd buy those back. If it is a gap and crap, after that red candle and they give a little love to them, then yeah, I would sell the 94s. I think that's just fine. Ooh, we got Snap earnings. I guess we have a couple days left to make that decision. Sell the 94s, and then should you be worried about that, keep the 103s. You sold the 103 calls. You collected 57. They're at 71. Yeah, that decision I'm not going to make until after. Like, if I had those, I would just be in them. And Snap's going to be my deciding factor of I roll or I'm good. Because even if we push up, if we made it to the 103s, I have a hard time thinking we're going to stay there next week. Like, if your shares are going to get called away, you're going to have to manage it. Like, make them work for it. I wouldn't just roll over the first week. I'm going to roll it one time. You'll still collect your week's worth of theta, hopefully get a pullback, and then you're good. Because, let's say Snap just sends it. We're up here. We bounce that. They're in the money. We reject that zone, pull back, and bounce off of here. We just pull one of these moves, the up and down. You'd have locked that in instead of rolling it, or roll it the next week. It comes back down here, and you're just fine. You've now collected 2 weeks worth of theta, all the same. You just watch it go in the money versus out of the money. I'm closing my 92 puts tomorrow, opening the 94s, and if Snap tanks us, I will own 100 shares. And here's hoping Google earnings are green. It's not a, let's see, if Snap tanks us to 94, I'd still roll that 1 week. Sell the 94s for the next week. Man, how would that pan out? You sold the 94s. You sold them in the money. It pops up. That's a lot of free money. I did that with, what was it, Lucid? I had sold the 25 calls. Right when everyone was talking about, oh, it's going to go nuts. I'm like, whatever. No, it's not. It did. It did later. Or was it in the money? No, it wasn't that crazy. It was one of these. Yeah, because it came down here. This popped up. Yeah, it was 28 bucks. I remember thinking it was almost 30. And I sold the 25s. Like, this is stupid. and I just threw a dart right here in the middle of the zone, thinking we're going to reject and come back down here. In the money, just sold them. So I'm already a few bucks. I'm collecting a few hundred just off that. And then just went down and expired worthless. It was great. So that's what I would try to do with those 94s. If Snap tanks us, brings it down, you'll roll it and be in the money. But then if it pops up on a green earnings, or just even a trend play, the trend just changes, you'll collect a little extra on that. It's just, those always sound cool, and when you can play them one-offs, they're fine. But just doing that, you're just going to get assigned a lot. If you made that your whole trading strategy, you'll just get assigned a lot. That's what I want to talk about. We like selling out of the money because there's no management in there. But even at 94, I wouldn't take rolling it. I would still roll, or I wouldn't get assigned. They'll assign me the second week, not the first week. Not throwing in the towel that easy. The dollar. Oh, Mr. McGinnis. So I got close with the British pound US dollar. He says dollar, UUP, Euro USD, British pound USD, US dollar Japanese yen, US dollar Canadian, and all things dollar. Stopped out of my short overnight for a $6 profit. Sure am glad I moved the stop loss to break even last week. Yeah. It's always kind of awkward when, like, because you're short and I was long, and I woke up 100 pips. I'm glad you had your stop in the green. I always feel weird when, especially when I call out, like, hey, I'm along this. Come to find out later, someone else is like, I whole accounted short. Well, this is weird. Hopefully we both win. It's rare. All right, so all things the dollar. I think the dollar is going to break down. So you said UUP. I would be short this if I could somehow. Don's like, got your money. I've never said that. I always just feel weird talking about, like, the next day when I talk about my trades, I'm like, oh, yeah, like I made $1 or $2. Anyway, next trade. Not a whole lot in this chart saying it's turning around. I mean, hopefully that's a lower high and we'll reach for that lower low. I don't think we're going to get a midterms rally or an end of year rally with the dollar this strong. So that's why I said in the beginning when I went over the dollar was that's borderline just tinfoil hat theory on thinking this zone's going to break. Largely, you go shorting a stock as it enters the zone from the top, not a profitable trade. But I did go long the British pound US dollar to play the short. What's the US CAD up to? Hopefully oil goes up and dollar goes down. It smashes this. Like right now, that's a type 1 long for sure. I don't like the setup. Maybe it's a gut feeling. I wish I had a better answer. I just think the dollar is going to pull back, which is okay. I'm not going to take the trade. And maybe there's a lesson or a rant there as well, that you don't have to take the trade. Like that chart says I should be going long the dollar right now. Long the dollar, short oil, long maple syrup, and we rock and roll. That looks like a rally base. We're about to rally again. I just think we tried, we failed, tried again, got lower high, coming back down. I think we're exhausting buyers at this point. How to short that is you would probably want to wait for it to break, pull back, and get in. Or if you're going to front run the risk, then it's just that's how that's going to pan out. You're taking that risk ahead of time. U.S. dollar, Japanese yen. Ooh, I would be. This looks like a decent. Is this overbought? A little overbought. So the indicators agree with me. Feeling a little frisky. I kind of want to short this. That just does scream overbought. There's a zone we're pushing. Kind of looks like a little fake out-ish. Oh man, I have to short this. Hang on. So we're already at a peak. What a trash bear. Oh gosh. Let's at least get to I want to find a place to put my stop. Do I just fudge it and go up 30 pips? Not a good trade. Don't copy this one. Should have even said this, but time is of the essence. This is the US dollar, Japanese yen. Borderline embarrassing to be taking this trade in front of you guys. I hope you understand. This is just jumping on the tracks for no apparent reason. This really is rolling the dice. But I'm putting my stop 45 pips away. Send it. Hopefully Powell comes out and says something cool. We might pivot. If he even comes out even remotely hints to pivoting, you'll watch that hop right on down into that zone. You'll watch stocks go up. Choo-choo. Yeah, I'm literally looking at the train like as it's honking, like no worries. Those red and white things coming down to my side, that's for everyone else, not me. Don talks about not taking a trade. Next chart hops into a trade. I know. I don't know why I'm so confident in this short right now. Jake says it best. It just sets you up to be surprised. So US dollar, we've done US CAD, British pound, US dollar. So Euro USD. All right. Oh man. That looks like a bull flag for sure. Which would be a short the dollar play. That looks like a good long. Long, put your stop right there. Trying to think how much I have out there. Because right now, every play I'm taking is the same. Whether it's long the Euro USD, short the US CAD, long the British pound US dollar, I'm doing it to short the dollar, so it's all the same. Right now, I might have enough risk out on the table. Because if the dollar continues, dollar pushes up, I get smoked on all my trades. Like there's not really any. They say diversify. That's not diversifying crap. Diversity is like I bought the NASDAQ and oil. You know, like one sector is not going to affect the other one. But saying you're diverse because you bought Google, Meta, and Snap at the same time, that's not diversifying anything. I really want to take this trade though. I'm going to stay out of it. If I were to take this trade, though, I'd put my stop right below that. And then just to cover it while you're here, British pound US dollar, I am long this. I had my stop. I told you guys earlier today when it pushed up to here, I put my stop 30 pips away. It did tag out. I did enter long on this stream. Here comes another trade. It almost did. I just don't want to take the L if I'm wrong on that. Long ES, long SPY, and SPY calls. 3 different trades? Exactly. Or, you know, like, someone said this a long time ago, so Michael B and I mocked him for a little bit. Not to be mean, but he had sold puts to buy calls. Like, I was like, oh, or like sold calls to buy puts. That's what it was. It was astronomical. I was like, no, just couldn't afford it. So you sold, like, the trade's already going against you, and you're just loading yourself up. Like, you know what I'd really like to do? Get hit from a car from both directions. Like, he's standing on the middle of the train tracks while trains are about to head on collide with that position. Man, did he know what he was doing or what? We didn't hear from him again after that. It was an LPP guy. Some of the best stories are in that group. True professionals. Netflix earnings tomorrow. What's the play? After the move it had today, I don't know how bullish I am. Like, if I was going to go long Netflix, it would have been today, and then I'd just be in management mode. Because largely, not looking like a good play. I do think they beat earnings, though. I think we're about to see a beat. It's going to be with their guidance. Whatever their excuse is, I don't really care. Yeah, I was actually on Brad's stream today talking about this on Own the Chaos. If it gaps and gets above this, I'm going to go ahead and short. I think the move's already been made. If for some reason, if we gap and crap tomorrow and it's turn around Tuesday, then I would go long for earnings. Remember that one time I went long earnings? God, was it that dump? No, it was this dump right here. And I was like, I'm not doing that again. Not going for round 2. I almost played Revenge Man right here. Like, I was going to be the Punisher, and I almost got punished. But Netflix stands, because it's earnings week, this stands as one of the best examples. So I bought this. I bought calls. And I even thought, like, hey, if earnings is bad, I'm going to take a 50% haircut right off the top. In fact, what I took was 100% because it gapped down, shot down, and not a single chance at recovery. Not a red candle in sight. Or not a green candle in sight. So that next morning I woke up, I was like, oh, no real need for management mode. They're going to 0. How much lower can it go? Well, so far it's proven it can go about $247 more. Remember Amazon? Which one? I like to only remember the good days in Amazon. From 200 into money. Oh, yeah, piss off. I hate that one. Man, what a stupid trade that was. Some of my best days are Amazon earnings. But yeah, also having a contract go $200 in the money to $250 out of the money makes you want to take a bat to your own car. I don't even get emotional, and I wanted to hit something that day. I wanted to punch a tree until my hands shattered or the tree fell down. Like, that sucked. No big deal, just a $15,000 contract in the incinerator. I was holding hands with you. It was brutal. Yeah, it wasn't fun. I'd rather even just take a bat to the teeth at that point. Like, just give me one good swing to the face, and I'll recover from that. That eats away those Amazon profits fast. All right, SOX. Semiconductor flat compared to SPY and QQQ. Early warning of a gap in crap. Also XBI. Let's do SOX. All the chips are down. Like, and let's be clear, guys. I even touched on this on Brad's stream day and Own the Chaos. It actually was a really good stream. Not to say when I hopped on, but I talked about some pretty important stuff. You guys think Intel's getting all the crap right now because Intel sucks, but let me remind you, all the chips are down. The only reason Nvidia is down is because Intel is down because Vinay works for them. Just kidding. Remember, Nvidia and AMD, they jumped into the mining hype. Like, there's Nvidia chips in some of the Tesla cars. Like Intel just largely didn't do any of that, so they didn't take advantage of the fun, but they're taking advantage of all the downside going to them right now. So I don't know what chips are going to do to. I like the idea of this particular one. I just don't know when is the right time because that is just in melt mode. I like this area. I certainly wouldn't want it breaking this at all. When the time comes, I think it'll be good. But there's a lot of hype leaving AMD and NVIDIA, which will probably correlate to Intel hitting 20 bucks. I don't want to say like take this at your own risk. I would have to give it extra wiggle room, I think. I think I'd have to just... My stop would still have to be down here if I were to buy this right now. If I'm going to catch that knife right here, I don't know if I like the idea of going short right now either. That sounds like it's going to stop out. If things do turn, this gets any kind of love and there is kind of a rally, we'll see it hop up above here. Play the ping pong game for it makes the next move up. I'd rather just wait and get a good entry going long. I do like LABU right now. Not in it, but I think that's the one. Tomorrow's a gap in crap. I was thinking about buying this. If tomorrow's a gap in crap, see this pop and push up. I'm gonna put my alert there. Retesting that, and I'm gonna rock and roll. So if it gaps up, no FOMO, not worried. Gaps up, sells off, hits that alert. I like that for a buy. Missed the futures part of the stream. What are we thinking tomorrow? I think gap and crap tomorrow. I still have a long bias until my futures position. I'm in the Russell and in ES right now. I just moved my stop up in the stream too. Watching out for gap and crap. Stops just go in the green, let it happen. If I short anything, it'll have to be after the red candles come. I stop out of my positions and intraday stuff. But if we sell off all day, I'm probably, unless something serious happens, a serious red candle that makes me change my mind, I'm thinking buy the dip at the end of the day tomorrow. Still amazed that autos still have a chip shortage. Yeah, they're having a hard time making chips though. Right now there's an abundance of computer stuff, but nobody's buying computers anymore. Especially on a recession, they just bought all the computers for their stay-at-home job. That's why chips, there's a lot of chips, a lot of the wrong ones. All right, I'm gonna hop off here. But seriously, if you've heard or said this video is about to premiere. I'm gonna be in the chat. Don Fran show. It's premiering in 1 minute. It's mandatory that you watch this. And I say get ready for the library because I am reading part of this book, just a couple pages. It's gonna remind you of when you were new, or in your current state, and why I think that saying is stupid. Turns out I'm not the first person to say that's stupid. So, anyway, I'll wrap it up here. If you're going to hop on that stream, I'll see you guys in that chat. We can keep the conversation going. But it's a premiere, which means it's pre-recorded, but it plays live. So there's a live chat. So I'm going to hop over there and get to it. But I will see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning. Yeah, again, I'm thinking gap and crap. Be careful. Manage your longs. Day traders, I wouldn't mind going short for a day trade. But I still think we have that bullish bias. So if that red candle doesn't come like some thunder, like out of nowhere, or a lightning strike, whichever one you think is worse, I really would be careful with the short bias overnight. So I'll wrap it up here. Ladies and gents, I'll see you in the morning.